And members of their diplomatic team are over, and their news conference just getting underway. Before the meeting, the president told Fox's Brett Baer,
"It's not for me to negotiate a deal for Ukraine, but I can certainly set the table to negotiate the deal. And our next meeting will have President Zelensky and President Putin and probably me."
During the news conference, Russian President Vladimir Putin said he thought the talks went well. The talks taking place at Elmendorf Air Force Base in Anchorage. A court hearing this afternoon as Washington, D.C. challenges the move by the Trump administration to take over its police department.
D.C. residents are worried and concerned, and we have a surge of federal officers. Chief Smith's job during this week has been to make sure that if we have and while we have federal officers, that they are being used strategically.
Mayor Muriel Bowser, the D.C. government argues President Trump violated the Home Rule Act, which gives the president the ability to take control of D.C. without congressional approval. The president claims crime in D.C. has gotten out of control, but Mayor Bowser says violent crime is at a 30-year low. A special session called in Texas as Republicans look to approve new congressional maps ahead of next year's midterm elections.
Immediately after the first failed special session ended Friday in the Texas State House.
House stands adjourned, sine die.
Governor Greg Abbott ordering another special session, and again Democrats who fled the state to prevent a quorum needed for now remain no-shows as Republicans look to redistrict House seats and take up other issues, including property tax cuts and flood relief.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. America's listening to Fox News.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Heat is the main factor throughout the weekend in Indiana, but what about anything else? I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending this hour. While the forecast for the Indianapolis area is mostly dry on Saturday and Sunday, there is a very small chance for some rain. Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service has your best chance of rain.
Current data is showing potentially some rain creeping into our area in the Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon time frame.
He says if any rain or storms do develop, it could knock temperatures down by just a bit. You've got highs in the lower 90s before a cool down begins early to mid next week. Several people experienced medical emergencies Thursday in downtown Indianapolis. Here's Ryan Hedrick with the details and reaction.
Several months after a downtown overdose incident happened where 6 people had to be taken to the hospital in March, 3 more people overdosed on Thursday night, say Indianapolis firefighters. This man says the problem is getting worse.
People, from coke all the way to acid. People have been using whatever.
And this man just got out of treatment. He's been struggling with meth.
I relapsed 4 times after being sober for a year and 11 days.
Reporting from downtown Indianapolis, Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
2 comedians are teaming up for a special stand-up show. The event is called Stand-Up Comedy at the Strand Theater in Shelbyville. It will feature Dave Dukin and Dave the King Wilson. They have been friends and telling jokes for over 40 years. The show starts Saturday night at 8 o'clock, and you can visit Strand Theater in Shelbyville's website to learn more. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
It gets even more hot and humid as you move towards Saturday afternoon. After the morning hours around 72, we get to about 92 in the afternoon under partly cloudy skies. The evening hours remain partly cloudy and on the warm side. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Renner Sudas 493 WIBC.
Golf fans, convention goers, and visitors of all kinds, welcome to Indianapolis, a great event hosting city thanks to Hoosier hospitality and terrific infrastructure like state-of-the-art stadiums, meeting spaces, and hotels, plus a world-class airport and interstates that make it easy to get around. But these buildings and roads don't just happen. They're built by men and women living here in central Indiana. Union members of Labor's Local 120 maintain and build Indy's roads, bridges, and highways. They're the ones you pass as you drive by the orange barrels. It's hard work, dangerous work. Yet there they are, working to make sure you have a smoother, safer ride to your event. And just like you, they'd like to get home safe too. So let's be mindful of the local workers who make the roads safe for all of us.
This is Chris Bricky, business manager of Labor's Local 120. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, save lives. We're all in this together.
In the construction business, you're only as good as your tools. That's why Quality Supply and Tool offers DeWalt products, like the 20-volt Max XR cordless 3-speed half-inch hammer drill. Buy one and get a 5-amp-hour battery free. That's a $100 value. Or buy two DeWalt 60-volt Max Flex Volt 12-amp-hour batteries and get one free. Only at Quality Supply and Tool and only while supplies last, or September 26th. With locations in West Lafayette, Bloomington, Jeffersonville, and Indianapolis, Quality Supply and Tool thinks outside the box. Store.
Enjoy the soundtrack of summer at your Indiana State Fair. Come enjoy all the rides, animals, free entertainment, and more. Plan your trip at indianastatefair.com.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
The Indianapolis Public Library. More than just books. Visit your local branch today.
Tony Kinnett.
Tony Kinnett.
Tony Kinnett.
Tony Kinnett.
Tony Kinnett.
Tony Kinnett.
Tony Kinnett. Host of the Tony Kinnett Cast.
Let's get down to business.
You're listening to the Tony Kinnett Cast on 93 WIBC.
Here on the Daily 60.
Welcome to the Tony Kinnett Cast. You've made it to the end of the week. It is Friday. My name is Jerry Lopez. You can find me on Twitter at Indy Spanglish. I have a heck of a show set up today. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to hit some real big news going on, but this is going to be an entertaining show, and we are going to take calls. So I'm going to give you about 5 to 10 seconds to go ahead and grab you a pen and paper. I'm going to say this number. In the third segment, we're going to take your calls. All that we ask is you keep it radio friendly. Please don't cuss. It's not going to make the airwaves anyway. We'll just dump it. But what will happen is we won't be able to do this anymore. Okay, so it doesn't have to be political. It can be about anything. And we're going to call this segment Lopez on the Line. So that number you're going to want to call is going to be 317-239-9393. We can take texts as well. They'll go to Miss Allison over there, and she will pass them on to us. That's going to be in the third segment. And you're going to want to hear Drake Hotline Bling. That's what's going to prep that. So let's get into some news. Big story coming out from Megyn Kelly. She had the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, and they were talking about Dr. Fauci, the Wuhan, COVID, just all the things that have come out about it and just the things that they've learned about it. Let's see what Tulsi Gabbard had to say.
But the thing that we are working with Jay Bhattacharya, the new NIH director, on with, as well as Secretary Kennedy, is looking at the gain-of-function research that, in the case of the Wuhan lab, as well as many of these other biolabs around the world, was actually U.S. funded and leads to this dangerous kind of research that, in many examples, has resulted in either a pandemic or some other major health crisis.
Well, let me ask you specifically, because we already know that EcoHealth Alliance was partnering with this Wuhan lab to do gain-of-function research.
That's right.
We just have never been able to have somebody say, it was that exact experiment that led to this COVID bug. But have we gotten there? What's the new thing that you're digging in on?
We are working on that with Jay Bhattacharya and look forward to being able to share that, hopefully very soon.
Okay.
That specific link, correct, between the gain-of-function research and what we saw with COVID-19.
So here's the kicker. If you remember, Anthony Fauci was one of those people that got a blanket pardon on the way out, when Biden was on the way out. And it went back, let's say 10 years, 12 years, some ridiculous time that he wasn't even the head of NIH. And it makes you wonder, what did they know? What did Anthony Fauci know? And possibly, could he have gotten himself in trouble in front of Congress?
I mean, that would be extraordinary because, just so the audience knows, if that's true, if it was Peter Daszak's research with the Wuhan so-called bat lady that caused this pandemic, then we did fund it. Then Anthony Fauci helped fund the pandemic.
The thing that he denied over and over and over to Senator Rand Paul's questioning.
That's right, under oath.
Under oath, exactly. So is it any wonder that he sought a preemptive pardon for anything during a certain period of time by President Biden before he left office?
And then strong-armed and smeared people like Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, anybody who came out and said, I don't know if that's natural. This actually smacks of lab.
And the reason why this is so important is not just what happened in the past. It's because this gain-of-function research is happening in biolabs around the world.
If you look at Ukraine, there were biolabs that were there. And I don't want to assume that that's why we're really caught up in protecting Ukraine. But we know for a fact that biolabs were there. But it begs the question, did Joe Biden know that Anthony Fauci was complicit in all of this happening? Why did they keep it from us? And why would you need a pardon unless you think you did something illegal? So hopefully we find out more about that. I really want to know if they can even do anything that happens from that. Is perjury not covered by the pardon? I guess we'll find out. But yeah, it's heating up a little bit, and it's about time that this administration started giving us something. Okay, now when we talk about this administration, two things come to mind: immigration and tariffs. Right now, tariffs. I mean, I don't know about you. I'm waiting for TVs to go up triple the price. I haven't really seen that yet. But we did have the Treasury Secretary, Scott, talking about tariffs and how much money are we actually bringing in using these things.
Just on the tariff income, I'd been saying $300 billion, but I think we're going to have to substantially revise that up. So well in excess 1% of GDP. And then with the new investments, they're the sovereign investments that we talked about. But then in terms of the committed investment by private industry, we're well over 10 trillion.
I mean, that's a chunk of change, right? Now, do you remember when Donald Trump said he wanted to go to the External Revenue Service? He wanted to get rid of the IRS and have other countries basically pay our taxes. And this is a great start. Everybody needs us. We are the biggest consumers in the world. I don't know if that's something we should necessarily be proud of. We basically are walking consumers, always buying something. There's something to be said about having money to be able to spend whenever you want to. But other countries need us, and it's about time they started paying. Now, Bill Maher, if you're not familiar with him, I mean, was a anti-Trumper 100%, kind of lost the national broadcast and went into podcasting like a lot of people do. And he's doing these one-on-one, interviews, Rogan-esque. And he had something that he admitted about Trump's tariffs.
I remember along with probably most people, was saying at the beginning, by the 4th of July, somebody had to think how the the economy was going to be tanked by then. And I was kind of like, well, that seems right to me. But that didn't happen. Now, it could happen tomorrow. I'm just saying that's reality. So let's work first from the reality of that, not from I just hate Donald Trump. Because that's boring and doesn't get us anywhere and leads you to dishonesty. Because the truth is, I don't know what his strategy is. But look, the stock market is at record highs. I know not everybody lives by the stock market, but I also drive around. I don't see a country in a depression at all. I see people out there just living their lives. And I would have thought, and I got to own it, that these tariffs were going to sink this economy by this time, and they didn't. So, how do we deal with that fact? Because that's the fact.
Now, I appreciate him coming out and saying that, and it's amazing when people are actually able to admit that maybe I got it wrong, and most of us should do that. The reality is that we are so polarized with, white hats, black hats. I'll support every Republican. I'll support every Democrat. I mean, the reality is you still live in the country, so while I didn't necessarily vote for Joe Biden, I want him to be successful because I don't want my life to suck, right? So I need him to still kick butt, right? Now, this is a story that unfortunately is not going to surprise you. And when Donald Trump ran for president, I didn't know if he was going to win, to be honest with you. I knew he would get a lot of support. I personally don't believe that Joe Biden got way more votes than Barack Obama. I think part of the problem with that is whether it's ballot harvesting, voter ID, different issues like that. Here is a case of this happening in a town called Hamtramck in Michigan. So it's just a suburb of Detroit, 5 miles north of Detroit, basically surrounded by Detroit. And this is somebody on the city council
New video obtained by Local 4 shows two men in a black car days before the August primary. A passenger starts handing ballots to an unidentified driver who then stuffs them into the city's drop box, in total dumping 3 large stacks before driving away. Sources tell Local 4 the passenger appears to be current council member Abu Musa, the same council member that is currently seeking re-election and rose to the top with more than 1,100 votes in last week's primary. He's also the council member accused of not living in Hamtramck and the council member named in the 2023 election fraud case. However, he was never charged.
Now, here's what they don't tell you. He won that primary by 76 votes. 76 votes won him the primary, and we have him on video just dumping votes into the ballot box. Right? Now, here's the unfortunate part. Will they do anything about it? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of states where that's perfectly legal. But without voter ID, without signature correlation, where you can match them up and make sure things are good, we as conservatives will have a hard time winning a lot of elections because, unfortunately or fortunately, we're playing against a team that doesn't really follow the rules, right? And what can you do about that? But we will be back. Next segment, we got IBSU Not, going to be hilarious, and you're going to want to listen for Hotline Bling. I'm going to take your calls. I'm going to put it out there. Anything you want to talk about, give us a call. It will be the very first Lopez on the line. You're listening to the Tony Kinnett Cast on WIBC.
It's another week of this.
There's a very good chance that we'll have a settlement.
And another day for this.
Water rose 28 foot in 45 minutes.
Plus, another possibility of this.
Monitor the weather condition, the National Weather Service.
That's why another update is just minutes away.
Start saying we're not taking this anymore.
Just another day. Not with all this happening. Every day.
Happening now.
93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
This is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and Zero Res is celebrating Pet Appreciation Month with something kind of nice for pet parents. Get 3 rooms Zero Resified for $129. Get 15% off pet odor treatments and $50 off air duct cleaning too. Look, pets have accidents, sometimes big ones, messy ones, the ones that make you gag a little when you're trying to clean up. And if you're thinking it's just dogs, cats can absolutely mistake carpets for a litter box. Vacuuming is just not going to fix that. Zero Res can clean virtually any surface in your home. And remember, Zero Res's patented ZR water cleans with no soaps, no residue, no harsh chemicals. And it's clean, safe, and effective, and that's why they have a 4.9 rating on Google with over 5,000 reviews. Just call Zero Res, mention WIBC, you'll get 3 rooms clean for $129, get 15% off pet odor treatments, and $50 off air duct cleaning. 317-388-5141, ZeroResIndy.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey to all the grown-ups out there. So summer slowly fades and backpacks fill up again, and we know the school year can sometimes bring stress, but we want to encourage you from Life Church that God's word can bring peace. Isaiah 41 says, "Don't worry, I'm with you. Don't be afraid, I'm your God. I will make you strong and will help you." Whether it's the first day of kindergarten or senior year, know you're not alone. God is with you, and we will be praying for students, parents, and teachers too. Parents, you can do this. We will help you. LifeChurchIN.com.
Everyone's talking about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation, like your neighbor Brett.
We did Galaxy for the sidewalks and also the porch. The porch had a few pits. Galaxy said that was no problem.
Home or business, Galaxy Concrete Coatings got you covered.
Obviously with the front sidewalk and step, so we didn't worry about any kind of slipping. You know, you're concerned about that after rain. And then when it did dry, it didn't spot, it didn't stain. It was just like it had been done yesterday.
Lots of styles to choose from, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
One thing that my wife commented on was how easy the Galaxy coating swept versus just the bare concrete.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com now. That's Galaxy Concrete Coatings. And remember to like us on Facebook. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. We're out of this world.
We moved here recently. I didn't even think twice about calling anyone else but Galaxy to come do this house.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers and Carmel, designers of fine custom jewelry.
Put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do?
Welcome back to the Tony Kinnett Cast. I'm your host, Jerry Lopez, sitting in tonight for Tony Kinnett, who's overseas right now. For those of you that don't know me, I came from social media. My trip to radio was pretty different than most people. I did not come from the newsroom, did not come from anywhere, literally came from social media. And because of that, I do something a little bit different. I do something called a trip around the internet, where I just basically tell you all the things that people are talking about on the internet because, well, I get bored and that's how I got here. So let's take a trip around the internet. If you remember that sound, you are as old as I am. Kids that are young, that is called how the internet started. And I have bad news. AOL is discontinuing its dial-up internet service starting September 30th. After 34 years in operation, the famous dial-up modem handshake sound burned into your memories that you just heard is now gone. So let's, hold up your beer, hold up your drink of choice, and salute AOL. If you ever typed in ASL ? Into a chat room to know the age, sex, and location of some random stranger, you probably used AOL. So goodbye, AOL. Thank you for your service. President Trump is getting a Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, they are really talking about this. The president of, I believe it's 2 countries were at war, and it's Armenia and Azerbaijan. They signed peace agreements. Now, these countries have been at war for 35 years, and he brings them into the White House to, shake hands and sign deals and end this war, essentially. And the president of Armenia said, I am going to nominate you for a Nobel Peace Prize. Now, here's the crazy thing. I think he should have already been nominated for some stuff. If Barack Obama did all the talking for all the work that Donald Trump did, he would have already had 15 Nobel Peace Prizes. I think people just don't like him. They're annoyed by him, and that's what the holdup is. But we're going to come back to this here in a second, because if you follow me on social media, I coined a phrase, and it's hashtag IBSUNot. And it kind of started during COVID. And a couple examples of this are, IBSUNot, you can't leave your house in California, but here's a video of Nancy Pelosi getting her hair done. IBSUNot, you have to wear a mask all the time, but if you look at this press conference, they talked, and then when the lights came on, they put their masks on, right? So here's an IBSUNot. Here is a woman that is complaining that her food stamps have been cut from $1,700 to $120.
You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of the food stamp office, okay? Okay, hang on. Before I get myself worked up, I just came here to talk about how I went I went from literally $1,700 in food stamps for a family of 3. Okay? I don't work. I stay home every day. I'm not able to work, so I should be getting the maximum amount. Especially because he needs cereal, chips, pop. He needs all that. And I need my energy drink. So I'm not going to have this taking me down from that much. And they took me all the way down to $120, which they didn't even tell me why. I just got this notice in here that says they were cutting me back on food stamps. So now I'm really going to have to cut back on everything. He's not going to be able to have his pop no more. He's not going to be able to have his cereal every day for breakfast and his chips that he eats all day long. Wow. Great. Thanks.
I mean, here's a note. So my family's from Cuba. My mom was a single mom. She worked her tail off. If Mom, if you're listening, I love you. But that lady worked her butt off, made meals, and sometimes they were just rice and tuna. Like, she got after it. My mom cooked every single day. This lady is talking about he eats chips all day. That's not healthy, first of all. Second of all, I don't know if you've bought a bag of chips recently, but a bag of Doritos is like $7, right? It's not cheap. Okay, so some of this stuff is ridiculous, but here's that is essentially the issue with, and I'm going to say Americans, is the entitlement, right? The entitlement. And that's not what America is. America's not entitlements. America is if you bust your hump, you can go get it. It's not we're going to give it to you. Okay. Now, if you've been paying attention to Vegas, and I've never been to Vegas because as an adult, I know I need to put guardrails on my life. And if I go to Vegas, I probably won't come back to hang out with my kids. So I've never been. But tourism in Vegas is way down. And here's somebody that took a video. They're charging for what?
This is how ridiculous Las Vegas is. So here's your room, and you have a mini bar, except you cannot use the mini bar or the refrigerator for storing anything without paying a $50 service fee. Come on, Vegas. Do better.
I mean, this is just putting your water in there. It's $50. And if you didn't see the video, there's a QR scanner that you have to use that. So we're not talking about taking things out of the mini bar. It's essentially to use the mini fridge. And you're going to pay $50 a day for that. Right? So why would I go? I think I saw a receipt online where it was like a 24-pack of Miller Lights was like $300-something. It was something ridiculous. Like, why would you ever go there? Right? So there's that. The Democrat candidate for New York City Mayor, Mamdani, went to an establishment the other day, and people are just tired of him, his socialist viewpoints. Who's going to pay for all this stuff? And let's be honest, the stuff you're talking about, you don't even have the ability to even change. And people are just tired of it. Let's see what that sounds like.
Sorry, I want something to eat. I would like something to eat. Let me tell you something, man. You are not welcome in this island. October 7th, you hater. You hating piece. Hey, Mr. Mandandy, can I talk to you? This is my island. No, it's not. You're not welcome here. Excuse me. You hate Jews. You hate this country. You hate this big shot full of Tom Holman. Don't put them all home.
I mean, people have lost it on him. I think I saw where he, and listen, complete disclosure, my two youngest kids are half Palestinian, okay? So I believe in everybody's right to coexist, 100%. Why wouldn't I? But the problem with the Democrats is they've taken a hard line. They always support the loudest voices, right? Like, you don't see too many just moderate Democrats. It's always the chick with blue hair and the bull nose ring that's on there talking, right? If you look, the actual presidential candidate for them should have been Shapiro out of Pennsylvania. But he couldn't get it. Do you know why? Because he's of Jewish ancestry, right? So this is what happened. You take a hard line, and then now you have to be a little bit more central, and those hardline people, they lose it, okay? And speaking of somebody who lost it, chronic loser Beto O'Rourke was talking about Republicans, and I don't know if you've heard this. This is crazy, right? The congressional maps everybody's trying to draw now, and he has gone crazy, and he's not even an elected politician. He is just a lifetime loser, has ran for everything and never wins, and has kind of turned it into a job, but he goes full-blown crazy.
We're not going to let him stop us. Are you with me on that? Ándale. It also means, as Mark was saying earlier, we don't await the punch thrown by these would-be fascists to land. We punch first, and we punch harder. We want California and New Jersey and Illinois and Maryland and every other state where the Democrats hold the governor's mansion, the assembly, and the state senate to redraw their congressional districts now, not wait for Texas to move first, to maximize Democratic Party advantage. Listen, you may say to yourself, well, those aren't the rules. There are no refs in this game. F the rules. We are going to win whatever it takes. We're going to take this to them in every way that we can.
And this is how Democrats give Republicans a fight, because they don't care. Let's just be honest with each other. By the time the investigation happens, by the time we find out something wrong happened, nothing gets changed. Who cares? Just win the election, right? That's what they're doing. I have this last story for you. Here's my good deed for the day. The next segment is Lopez on the line. So if you want to get your calls in, do it now. 317-239-9393. I know a lot of people are waiting to see what happens with Letitia James and Adam Schiff. Well, here is loser Michael Cohen talking about, man, they are going to be in trouble.
And I know so many people are going to say, oh, my God, Michael Cohen is like bending the knee to Trump. No, what I'm doing is I'm actually telling you the reality. We could talk to each other all day long and we can say, oh, I have 1 million followers. You have 1 million followers. It's the same million followers. 77 million Americans ended up voting for Trump. Mark my words, Ed Martin, the Department of Justice, Pam Bondi, they will figure out exactly how to go after Adam Schiff, how to go after Tish James for these mortgage violations. And they
alleged
will be
mortgage violations.
Alleged, yeah. Correct. Yeah. And they will be held accountable. That's my next prediction here on your show. And I know that I'm right, because if there is a signing of a box which is wrong, and trust me, I know, I went to prison. One of my charges was on my HELOC. I had low mortgage onto it. I had 80% equity. They held me accountable for a HELOC violation. Theirs is much worse. And rest assured, allegedly, right. So let's go one step even further here. When you have the courts on your side as well, what chance do you have of success? It's why I turn around and I say, doomed. Yeah.
Here's a secret. We only say allegedly so we don't get sued. So that's when you hear allegedly, it's just to protect yourself. That's it. Lopez on the line is next. Call about whatever you want. Who cares? But this is finally your chance. If you want to call and talk about Rob Kendall, let's do it right now. You want to call and talk about Micah or Diego or what's going on in the city. If you want to call and talk about traffic, how bad Hogshead is, what you're going to have for dinner, or where you should go for a first date, give me a call. 317-239-9393. We're going to be back in a couple minutes. You're listening to the Tony Kinnett Cast on 93.1 WIBC.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation, and it's the end of summer here in Indy, and your AC is working overtime just trying to keep your house cool and comfortable. What can you do to make a difference? Replace your old or builder-grade windows with new ones from Window Nation. Schedule a consult and get 50% off all window styles, plus you could even get them with 0 down, 0 payment, 0 interest for 2 years, which makes Window Nation more affordable on average than other companies.
Window Nation's windows are made from high-quality materials, so they won't let the cool air out during the hot summer. They're so good, they're backed with a lifetime warranty, and they can install them in 1 day or less. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau and over 3 million windows installed, you can trust Window Nation for quality and service. But you have to hurry. This 50% off window sale ends soon, so don't miss out. Schedule your estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Hey, it's Big Joe for Absolute Comfort, your trusted independent American Standard Air dealer. Owner Chris Wettikin sells the ductless Mitsubishi Electric Mini Split, which is a clean and extremely energy-efficient way to heat and cool a specific area.
These systems don't run the air through the ductwork, which is where a lot of your dust and allergies and other displeasing smells come from. And maybe best of all, you're not circulating viruses throughout the home.
Find out more at AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your trusted independent American Standard Air Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
Allison Krauss and Union Station, featuring Jerry Douglas. Arcadia 2025 Tour, August 21st, Everwise Amphitheater at White River State Park. with special guest Willie Watson. Reserve seat pavilion and general admission lawn on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the Jack Daniels concert series. Don't miss Alison Krauss and Union Station featuring Jerry Douglas live.
Hi, it's T. Brian Hayes here from the Retirement Money Matters Show. You know, the retirement estate planning world today is much different from the past. In fact, there are several old, common, and understood retirement rules that no longer apply in today's retirement world, especially after the last few years. So join me on this weekend show as we discuss these old rules and inform you about the new updated rules, principles, and realities that must be followed. The Retirement Money Matters Show airs this Saturday morning at 6 a.m. right here on WIBC.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The future depends on teachers. Every day, teachers are shaping our tomorrows, starting their students on journeys that will change the course of history. Right now, in a classroom somewhere in the United States, there's a teacher inspiring a future scientist who will make preventing pandemics their life's work, sharpening the mind of an aspiring environmentalist who will help combat climate change, and generating possibilities for a student who will be the first in their family to graduate college. It all starts with teachers who meet challenges with creativity, who reinvent education for the future, who work towards a school system that lifts up every child, regardless of race, income, or zip code, and to enable the full potential of our students, our communities, and our country. Explore a career that leaves a legacy you can be proud of. Shape the future. Teach. Learn more and receive free support at teach.org.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 50% off plus a free patio door.
Because at
B-Window, we mean business.
And I know when that hotline blink, that can only mean one thing. I know when that hotline blink.
Welcome back to the Tony Kinnett Cast. That hotline is blinging. I'm your host, Jerry Lopez. We got a new segment called Lopez on the Line. We got callers queued up. If you want to jump in on this, now's your time. 317-239-9393. And Allison, you said we can get texts too?
Yeah, it's a new thing. We can also text our number. So if you want to just send in your question you can't get through, let us know. We're reading them now.
All right, that number again, 317-239-9393. Let's go to the first caller. We have Jeff. Hey, Jeff, this is Jerry. How are you doing this Friday?
Jerry, I love you, man. And I got to tell you, before I talk about the revised curfew, y'all, the law that they passed, I got to tell you, one of my best friends passed away. He served our country, was born in Cuba, came here, was an anesthesiologist in Vietnam, and was Trooper Joe, known on Q95 for 3 decades.
Wow. Hey, everybody raise a glass to Trooper Joe. Right.
Joe Jennings passed away.
Yeah.
All right, here's my deal. So lately we revised the curfew law, and they said $500 fine to parents on the first offense.
Yep.
Now, when I was a kid, I was born in 61. I got spanked, man, as a kid. I got spanked on the bottom, and I don't think I turned out that bad, right?
Yep.
But look, now, why don't they just put the $1,500 fine on the first offense? It should be that way in the first place, because I guarantee there wouldn't be a second offense if these parents actually cost $1,500 instead of $500. Isn't that another smack on the wrist? What is next?
I agree, but here's my question: Do you think these people are going to pay? Do you think these parents are going to pay the $1,500 if you have a kid that you can't even keep control of? Let's be honest; they're not even going to pay the $1,500. So here's a little bit of inside baseball. I had 2 hours before this show. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings. I saw a cop out front, and I asked him about the curfew thing. Right? I said, "Hey, man, here's my question. Like, are you supposed to be a babysitter? If my son's out here, what do you do?" He goes, "I get the kid, I call the parent, they have an hour to show up." So you're just sitting there with some kid on the side of the road waiting for the parent to show up? He said, you fix this by the same thing you said. Go after the parents. If you go after the parents, then things change. But he said these kids have no worries for anything. They're not worried about consequences or anything at all. So it kind of sucks. What do you do? You're going to find parents who already aren't responsible. I don't think they're going to pay the $1,500.
Jerry, what's next? Just go ahead and pay him to commit a crime? I mean, with a slap on the wrist, why not? I've seen timeout doesn't work. I've seen all that. Let's just go ahead and pay him to commit a crime. I mean, honestly.
I mean, when you commit with Ryan Mears, you commit a crime, they don't even put you in jail, really, right? They just let you back out. So, Jeff, hey, thank you for the call.
See you,
My
man.
condolences to your homie. Good Cuban dude, and I bet he was a damn good American. So let's get to the next one. We have, is that Bill? Bill, you are on with me. How is your Friday going?
It's going great, Jerry. It's a pleasure to speak with you, sir. Thank you for your service.
Awesome. I appreciate it. What's going on?
Well, I don't have a big political question.
No,
I
doesn't
love
matter.
when you're the all-star fill-in, and I loved hearing you this morning on Rob and Casey's show and tonight on Tony Kinnett's show. But, hey, my main question for you is, what is the favorite dish or meal that your mom makes for you?
So, fun fact, for those of you that don't know, my mom is from Cuba. So, at this point, at 44 years old, nothing that my mom makes is my favorite meal because I ate it 15 times a day.
I know,
Yeah, but I would say a staple in my house would be black beans and rice, plantains, and pork chops with a salad on the side. That's
awesome,
a standard meal, but like growing up, I could not wait to have pizza because I got so tired of eating Cuban food.
I know. My grandma came over from Greece, and my grandpa came over from Barcelona, Spain.
Yeah. You like grape leaves, or you're good on them?
I grew up in Gary, Indiana, and every neighborhood has its own ethnic flair, so I ate great as a kid, so I was just curious.
You like grape leaves still, or you've had your fill?
Oh, yes. I love it, and spanakopita and everything, yeah.
There you go. Hey, I appreciate your call, man.
Beetle Pocket. Appreciate it, Jerry.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, we got Kevin up next. Kevin, you got Lopez on the line. What is going on this Friday night, man?
How's it going, Jerry?
Not too bad. Hey, listen, I turned the lights on at WIBC this morning, and I'm going to turn them off when I leave. So it's been a long day, brother.
Right, I understand that. Hey, so I work downtown, and ultimately I just wanted to kind of complain about these lovely roads we got.
Let's do it.
I don't know whose decision it was to close down Illinois, make Capital one lane, West Street one lane, go in both directions. You can't turn from Washington onto West Street without missing a lane. It's added 40 minutes to my trip every day. So it's been a fun time.
Would it be crazy? Would it be crazy? Would it be crazy? Could I convince you that maybe they don't want any cars downtown?
Oh, I know that's the case. I mean, blue line, purple line, yellow line, green line, whatever you want to call it. There's a line for it.
Yeah. And listen, they're adding more bus lanes. For what? We need more regular traffic lanes.
Right.
You already had Did you see where Indiana was the number one state in the country for drivable roads? That's a fact.
I did actually see that.
Yeah, that was done by somebody who never had come here,
right?
right? There's no way they were in Indiana when they did that.
Right. Yeah, they said we had some of the best roads without potholes and everything else. I live in Morgan County, and I will say the roads down here are pretty solid. But as soon as I cross that county line, I hit about 5 potholes in a half mile.
Yeah, so I'm in Hamilton County, and the scariest mornings of my life is when it's raining because I play pothole or dead tire. Like, I don't know if this is a hole. I have no clue what is going on. But you know what? Where your property tax is going, dude. Hey, I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for calling.
Appreciate it, man. You too. Thanks.
Kirsten, you are up next. How is Friday evening treating you?
Good. How are you? I just got done setting up my booth at the Wham Fest, actually.
There you go. Hey, that's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we had that guy on earlier.
Yeah, I was listening while I was setting up.
So what's on your mind this evening?
Nothing. Actually, I was calling because I wanted to tell you congratulations on the not smoking, and also you can hear it in your voice.
So this is a weird thing for me. Like, food tastes different. I can go up steps. This is what I tell people. I look like I'm in shape, but I am really a Ferrari you've never changed the oil in. So it'll look great, but if you run it a quarter mile, that puppy ain't gonna make it, right? So I got to get back into it. But listen, it's a good thing. I guess that's what they wanted to do. But I can't imagine buying 2 packs of cigarettes. That's essentially like a tank of gas these days.
Yeah, I know. And I've been quit I should have written it down. I think it's like 4 years now, 3 or 4 years now. But yeah, I could hear it this morning in your voice. I was like, oh my gosh, you sound better, bro. Congratulations.
Good. And I got a face for radio too, says my mom. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for the call and the motivation. It means a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I hope to see you at the Wham Fest tomorrow.
Yep, let's do it. Rich, you are next. Hey, let's bring it home. You're the last one. What's going on, brother?
All right, well, hey, I just now heard about you quitting smoking. I'm actually on that journey myself. I've been doing kind of the vaping thing, but...
That still counts. You're not smoking cigarettes. You're smoking batteries, brother. Like, that's...
Yeah, but it's... the old lady and kids, they like it better, so I'll live with that. And I smoke a lot less either way because I can do a couple hits and be good. But anyway, my question is, so a little bit off of what everybody else has been talking about. So obviously Rob Kendall and Micah Beckwith have a personal relationship. What are your thoughts?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
That nobody ever talks about it. I really want to know. Like, I don't know how to feel about it because it's like, do I flip on Micah or?
Allison, we're gonna go long.
I mean,
we're gonna go long.
I love to hate Rob. I'm not gonna lie, but I also love to love Rob at times. So at the end of the day, I want to hear from one of you guys. You know, what do you really think about this whole Micah and Rob situation?
I mean, that's a heck of a question to end on, and I'm going to just listen. If there's anything you can expect out of me as the truth, and I will say it like Rob's talking. As the new guy here who came from social media, I have a lot of relationships with politicians, a lot of relationships with them. And I was looking at the way that Rob and Micah's interaction happened because my fear was always somebody I like, I might have to rip on the radio or else I lose all credibility with the listeners. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So Micah, as far as I knew, was Rob's best friend. They were boys. Like Rob went to his church. That was his pastor, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And if we're being completely honest, I think Rob feels like he was taken advantage of. I think Rob feels like he was promised something that was never delivered. Nobody expected, and let's be honest, Micah can't vote for anything. He wasn't there to vote for anything. You were there to be the voice of the people. You're just there to go, I don't agree with this, and we would have been okay with it, right? I think the issue is that Rob put his neck out for Micah, and now every single day, listen, did you listen yesterday to Rob Kendall? And be honest.
Part of it.
Okay.
Only part of it. I did not hear the part about.
What about the day before?
I can only listen between 10:30 and 11 on my lunch break.
So great example of why. Ready? You don't listen every day. So if you haven't been listening, Rob has to come back out and let you know that he was done dirty. And I think that's why this continues to happen. I mean, it sucks. The problem is for Micah, and I have no issue with Micah. Like once again, that's a guy that I text. I hope he's good. No personal ill will towards anybody. But I do think that property tax thing, which really has Rob riled up, is the least amount of the issues that is coming out of the lieutenant governor's office. And that's the crazy part.
I need to go back and listen to some of the other stuff because I do listen, but maybe I'm just getting the bad. Because I will say Rob does nothing but talk. Like
and Diego as well.
Pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is.
But imagine you being my boy. I put you out there because the delegates are who voted for Micah. It's not voters, right? So Rob is speaking to the delegates. He gets you in there, and then you do an about face and essentially embarrass me in front of my audience. You would take that super personally, right? Like, that's messed up. You're making me look stupid because I told all my people to vote for you. And I don't know if you're listening. And I don't know if you're I don't know if you're listening today. I don't know if you're listening tomorrow. I don't know if you're listening Tuesday. So I need to come out every single day to save my credibility. And I think that's why it's an ongoing thing, man. But I appreciate your phone call. That was a heck of a question to end on, definitely. And keep an eye on that LG's office. I unfortunately think it's going to get a little bit hairier. You're listening to the Tony Kinnett Cast. The last segment's coming up. We're going to have a lot of fun. Let's ring out Friday with a bang. We'll be right back on 93.1 WIBC.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why do so many foundation, basement, and crawl space companies ask for half your money up front? Could it be because that's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they believe trust is earned, not demanded. That's why they do things differently. They start with a free inspection, no strings attached, to give you an honest assessment of what your home needs. No pressure, no surprises. When it's time for the work, they don't ask for a deposit or any upfront payment. Not a single dollar until the job is complete and you're 100% satisfied. That's how they've been earning trust for over 39 years. Whether it's sagging floors, moisture control, concrete repair, or a full crawl space encapsulation, you can count on Michaelis for repairs that last. Don't trust just anyone with your home. Choose the company that puts your trust first. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY today. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation, building trust beneath your feet.
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve, plus complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers.
Don't miss the biggest Lazy Boy, Flex Deal, and Mattress blowout sale of the year at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Hey, this is Spencer Thompson, and now through Monday, save 50% off all Lazy Boy and Flex Deal. Save up to $800 off premium mattresses, plus interest-free financing, free delivery, and cash discounts. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
Kids across America are going to school hungry every day. No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Tony Kinnett Cast. I'm your host, Jerry Lopez. If you want to find more of me, I'm on Twitter at Indy Spanglish. This is the home stretch. Let's take you a little bit around places. So Nancy Pelosi, obviously you knew Trump met with his meeting with Vladimir Putin. Nancy Pelosi didn't like this meeting, and I always find it weird. You know, how many times have you heard, you definitely want to have a relationship with these. This is a leader of another country, right? But he was meeting with Putin in Alaska, and Nancy Pelosi had a kind of a problem with it.
Well, let's hope, but he said he was going to end it one day. He hasn't done that. But again, we want the people of Ukraine, and we commend them for fighting for democracy, and in fighting for their democracy, they're fighting for ours as well. They are fighting for democracy writ large. It's taken a long time. And he said he was going to do it in one day. It's been, 100, whatever, how many days. He hasn't done it yet. I'm disappointed that he has not continued the military assistance, because that has been a problem for the Ukrainians. But I wish him well on that. I don't trust Putin at all. I don't know what Putin has on the president that he's coming to Alaska. They shouldn't be going to Alaska. Russia claims Alaska. Russia claims Alaska. But nonetheless, it's happening. We hope it'll be successful. But there's one thing more I want to say about this. I followed this. I was the first official of America to go to Ukraine after Russia invaded.
My issue is this. Ukraine is like your little brother that won't learn to shut his mouth. And you can continue to fight for him and fight for him and fight for him and fight for him and give money and give aid and give weapons and give all these things, right? But it's not going to matter. And this is not our fight. Okay, as a veteran, I'm telling you, us fighting and assisting in the Ukraine-Russia thing, while you may think it's admirable and we have a duty to defend those that can't defend them, this has nothing to do with American democracy. All right, at all. The reality is Zelensky has no cards to hold. The moment we stop giving you money, the fight is over. And that's the issue. All right, we have Gavin Newsom is talking about, redrawing the district because of what Texas is doing. Scott Jennings just basically exposed his whole argument in just one sentence, really.
Woman on the let me summarize Gavin Newsom's speech today. Gerrymandering is evil. Please vote for my gerrymandering. Of course, he failed to mention that it's already gerrymandered. Republicans get 40% of the vote in California. They have 17% of the congressional seats under a supposed independent redistricting commission. So we're going to further gerrymander the gerrymandering.
By that standard, Scott, Texas is also gerrymandered. So
you want to keep going? How about Illinois?
But here's the issue. I would readily concede it. On a regular census, the legislature there,
Every state gerrymanders. It doesn't matter. Illinois has the worst maps in the whole country. So you remember when I talked about Trump possibly getting the Nobel Peace Prize? Well, he has a little bit of support from somebody you would have never had guessed. Listen to this.
We are on the precipice of a meeting between President Trump and President Putin in Alaska. Drawing on your experience as Secretary of State, if you were en route to Alaska, what would you be looking to get? What does an acceptable deal look like?
He is not meeting with a friend. He is meeting with an adversary, and an adversary who wants to see the destruction of the United States, and that over a period of time, Putin should be actually withdrawing from the territory he seized in order to demonstrate good faith efforts, let us say, not to threaten European security. If President Trump were the architect of that, I'd nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize.
You did not have that on your 2025 bingo card. Hillary Clinton supporting Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. Hey, that's the end of the show. We had a blast. Thanks for the callers. Have a safe weekend out there, everybody. If you want to find more about me on Twitter at Indy Spanglish, you've been listening to the Tony Kinnett Cast on 93.1 WIBC.
Everyone's talking about Galaxy Concrete Coating and their transformation, like your neighbor Mike.
Well, the local company that we used first was highly recommended by people in our neighborhood. We did not know until after it